Hello everyone. Welcome to our very first panel discussion on a life-changing topic, that is choose life, choose plant-based. Before I start the program, I would like to request my chief guest, that is Ms. Falguni Mehta ma'am, the wellness coach, to lighten the auras by lighting the diyas. So I request Falguni ma'am, please do the honor. So, finally, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Vande Mataram. Before I start the actual program, I would request our chief guest, Ms. Falguni Mehta, the wellness coach, to give a small speech on this very beautiful topic. So, Ms. Falguni, over to you.
Thank you, Mehta. Namaste, everybody. Namaste, everybody. I'm delighted to be here. It's a true honor to be a part of such a beautiful initiative. And as a wellness coach, I would say health begins from what is on our plate. And plant-based food is not just a way of a diet. It's not just a diet, it's a way of life. It's healing naturally, gently, and powerfully. Also, I feel that it provides us energy from within, a more peaceful, guilt-free, conscious, and not just a food choice, but a healthier, happier way of life. So let's be more plant-based and let's make wellness a way of life.
Thank you, Ms. Falguni. चलिए हम आगे बढ़ते हैं, बुलाते हैं आज के हमारे स्पेशल पैनलिस्ट को. लेट मी इनवाइट फर्स्ट पैनल, दैट इज मिस ज्योति गांधी मैम, द ब्रेन वेदर एक्सपर्ट, followed by Miss Anuja Patel, the sports nutritionist, followed by Mr. Ankul Goyal, the detox and bio consultant, followed by Ms. Nina Singhal, partner at KL Global International Export Business. Last but not least, Ms. Geeta Damankar. Please, ma'am. First of all, thank you very much and welcome to a very life-changing event on a special topic. चूज लाइफ, चूज प्लांट-बेस्ड. दोस्तों, पैनल तो आ गए, अभी चलते हमारे होस्ट की ओर. आज के हमारे होस्ट का नाम है मिस विनुता शेट्टी, दी स्पोक पर्सन फ्रॉम मिश्का मीडिया. विनुता, ओवर टू यू, स्टेज इज योर्स.
Thank you, Vinod, for such a lovely introduction and for having me here. I'm extremely delighted. Once again, welcome all my panel members, guests, audience. Thank you so much. Well, today's topic, choose life, choose plant-based. Well, with this mantra, I could say my audience that every bite has a choice. So we choose food that which heal us and not harm us rather. And whatever food that we put in our body, it should be good to our body. At the same time, it should not kill animals. It should be kind for them, and at the same time gentle on the earth. So with this mantra, let's go ahead and I would like to give my audience a thought to think upon, like whatever we said right now. Just think about it. You can actually change your life and have a better well-being by end of the session, and that is for true. Just have a thought about it. Okay. So with this now, without wasting any more time, let me move to my first guest, Dr. Jyoti Gandhi. Right, ma'am? You're looking absolutely stunning. Thanks for coming. Your first question is, how can a plant-based diet help in keeping our brain healthy according to Brain Veda? What do you have to say about this?
So, I've always visualized people living confident, happy, inspired lives. And that's the majority of the people. I would like them to be good, feeling good, stress-free in their own atmosphere, home, in whatever they are doing.
Exactly.
I have this huge vision of taking this forward in whatever way that I can. Instead of getting degrees and doctors and accolades and all of that, I think this vision, which is a huge vision of seeing a happier world, happier people, and just creating what I call is an ace mind, that is awareness changes everything. A lot of us are not aware of why or what we just skim through life. We are not aware of why we should do something, what is the repercussion. We just, go whatever the family beliefs are, patterns are. And we get so involved in so many things, बच्चों की school है, ये है, college, education, food, husband, work, trying to find ways for ourselves, that sometimes I think that we need to stop, pause, just have an awareness of what is around, what is good, and then start off life. So when I did my study about this plant-based diet, because I've had a talk way back, 15 years back, where someone was passionately talking about the vegan diet. Broadly, I would like to say a plant-based diet is divided into four, like a vegetarian diet, eggetarian diet, a flexitarian diet. These are all different ways of a plant-based diet. And of course, lastly, the vegan. So vegan is when they completely avoid animal products, they exclude animal products, and byproducts. That is what a vegan is. While a vegetarian is, fruits, vegetables, legumes, oil, seed-based oils, that contains that. And eggetarian is the same with eggs, while flexitarian is where they eat fish and they count it as part of vegetarian, where fish is eaten and occasional, eggs are eaten, fish is eaten. So when you travel abroad, they count fish in a vegetarian diet. Now, a plant-based diet gives you the four main important things in life, which is it gives you a great health, it gives you great nutrition, it gives you a good environment, and it gives you a good lifestyle. And I think all of us are living to have that. We are all wanting, so we fall into these four categories. We all are looking at a great health. So, you can have, I think I don't need to say what a plant-based diet does, because the biggest animal which has is a vegetarian, that is an elephant. So you have elephants, cows, giraffes, even hippos and rhinos. The biggest animals, they're all vegetarians. I will be talking about the elephant in the end of my lecture, because it is a lot to take back home. So same way is, you use less water, less carbon footprints. There's conservation, there's nutrition. It gets you closer to nature. Now it is proof that even putting your feet on the ground, which is called grounding, how it helps you. In 200 ways it helps you. Just keeping feet on the ground, just walking on sand, just being on the grass, on the soil. So there are electrons which come. So the body absorbs that, and we understand that. Nutrition also, you get the folate. So I'm not against non-vegetarian. It's just that people have this thing कि जो non-veg में मिलता है वो veg में नहीं मिलता है. But animals prove that it's not true. Otherwise, they wouldn't be the biggest animal, the fastest animal, one of the fastest, the horse. Even they are vegetarian, you know. So you have speed, you have big bodies, you have strength, you have, I mean, so many things in a plant-based diet.
Thank you, ma'am, for the insight. It was lovely. She has broken the myth that even plants has got, you know, a lot of things, a lot of vitamins and nutritional things that which probably we are not getting from animals, and even if we get from animals, they are not good, not up to the mark. You can always rely on the plant-based food compared to the animal-based food. Thank you, ma'am. Moving on to the nutritionist, Miss Anuja Patel, diet and sports nutritionist, right? Okay. So your question comes this way. Many believe protein only comes from animal food. So can a plant-based diet give enough nutrition for sports performance?
Yes, so thank you for the question. And just to, before I answer the question, I just would like to introduce myself so that my experience, whatever I am talking is through experience. So I am a clinical as well as a sports nutritionist and working in this field for more than 22 years. So, and I'm a vegetarian, and my daughter also, she plays weightlifting in competitive levels. So, I, as a mother and as a nutritionist, I had gone through this struggle of, you know, giving her non-veg or no, or, you know, yeah. So, a lot of things are there, but yes, so as a nutritionist also, whenever, especially parents come to me with their kids who are into competitive sports especially, the first thing they'll ask is, हम तो non-veg नहीं खाते, इसको अंडा दे क्या? So that is the, because as a parent they feel that, oh, I want to give my best. So the kids is not, the kid is not deficient. So I'll just give you a brief, I'll not go very much into the technical things, but animal proteins are basically known to be as class 1 type of protein, and vegetarian or plant-based proteins are known as class 2. Now there is no inferior or, you know, superior as such. It is just that the animal protein composition has all 9 essential amino acids and the plant-based lack few of them. But very interestingly, the fact is that an incomplete protein or a class 2 protein can be converted into class 1 very easily. And that is how we are, our grandparents and our ancestors are keep on doing it without learning dietetics. So our very favorite idlis are khichdis. That is a simple example of this. So we call in nutrition science, we call it as nutrient supplementation, wherein we combine cereal and a dal. So dals lack in those amino acids which cereal has, and vice versa. So when you combine it, you actually get your complete proteins. So even if it is a complete non-vegetarian food, only the thing is you need to follow a discipline. Because see, nowadays what happens is, what I've seen is, even if I give a proper calculative diet, you know, with all calories and proteins and fats and everything, we are struggling to absorb the nutrients. And same goes with proteins. So if my requirement is probably, you know, 60 grams, I'm just giving you an example. So while planning, I will do it like I'll keep some margin. So I'll maybe plan for 70 grams protein, and I'll give the bifurcation in such that in that particular diet, the cereals and dals are in proper quantity, so that probably in the system, they are combining together and getting converted into the complete protein. So this thing is similar for athletes also, and for people who are sedentary life or people who are just doing recreational activities. So for them also the same funda goes, include both dals and proteins, dals and cereals in daily diet. Now what happens is, the problem comes like एक दिन हम बहुत अच्छे से diet follow करते हैं, और probably I would say Monday to Friday and Saturday Sunday go on the house. So even my athletes, they have training sessions probably on Monday, Wednesday and Friday. So the parents will do वो 3 दिन बहुत अच्छे से follow करेंगे, pre में क्या खाना है, post में क्या खाना है. But the other days also you need protein for the recovery. So ideally, the daily requirement has to be fulfilled, and that's how the little discipline. So each meal you add something. So each meal, if you are adding dal, you know, even if you are having only sprouts, don't have only sprouts. Those even sprouts has certain carbohydrates. It needs some cereal taste. So maybe add some oats to it, or add if you're just having nuts, have it along with some cereals. So if you do the combinations, then the requirement is happening. So there is no inferior or superior. Plant-based can completely. So I have my long distance runner. I have a bodybuilder and a power lifter. So they are following this along with definitely some supplementation. But yes, so we can, if we follow a discipline, we can meet to the requirements. I hope I've answered.
Just to add on, ma'am, soya bean is considered as one of the top in veg protein, just like eggs in non-veg. And if you add little sesame seeds, I think in soya bean, I think the rating gets improved and comes in natural. Yes. The egg, if I'm not
correct,
right?
So always combination works better,
okay.
Even for absorption also. Like everybody knows, like vitamin C is good for absorption of iron. So if you're taking any iron supplements, you have to include vitamin C so that the absorption is better. So same, similar thing. So if you the plate full of the colors, different colors, they will add on to they will actually help you to absorb whatever the actual nutrition in the plate. Because nutrition in the plate is very well balanced, calculated, and once actually it is consumed and absorbed and assimilation or the digestion process, उसका धीरे-धीरे वो कम होते जाता है. So we have to see to it that like we were discussing about the gut health. आजकल बहुत फोकस है, बट अगर गट हेल्थ हम इम्प्रूव करते हैं, डिटॉक्स पे थोड़ा ध्यान देते हैं, तो ये एब्जॉर्प्शन अच्छे से होता है, सो दैट यू बॉडी कैन एब्जॉर्ब मोर न्यूट्रिएंट ऑप्टिमल लेवल पे इवन फ्रॉम द प्लांट बेस्ड फूड.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Now moving on to our next guest, Dr. Ankur Goyal. First of all, doctor, I just want to know if you can give a little gist, like what is autophagy and biohack? Like, just let our audience come to know, like, what is it all about? Little new term it is.
Okay, so I was actually hoping you would be asking me for detox, but now since you have asked me for biohacking.
No, even I will ask for detox also.
So biohacking is a combination of all the verticals of health that we. So it includes a lifestyle, exercising, fasting, supplementation, then your medications and science and technology. So science and technology and lifestyle are two important things that we need to combine in today's age. Science helps in collecting the data. So from data you can give a proper analysis of your health structure, and using this data in improving your health is a very important part of biohacking. So it's basically now in the age of AI revolution. So even medical science is going towards high-tech sciences. So AI is a very important part of medical science today. So what AI does is collects all kinds of data from various verticals, analyzes, transforms, and gives you a perfect result. So when you work on the perfect solution, you will be able to heal yourself faster, quicker, with less of cost, the pain you undergo, and it's a very clean
In a more holistic
lifestyle.
way, probably.
Yes. So autophagy and detox are part. So detox is basically, I'll just since biohacking actually covers all of them. So in order to understand more of biohacking, you will have to understand all these things. So detox is basically accumulation of toxins in your body. So your body actually requires very few compounds every day to survive or to thrive. But your intake of food or whatever things you are taking in is much more than your body requires. A lot of the extra intake gets eliminated naturally, but there are some toxic elements that do not get eliminated and they stay in your body. And for a prolonged time, when they are in your body, they create conditions. And these are negative conditions which leads you to other kinds of diseases and everything. So these toxins that accumulate in your body has to be removed. So there are procedures for it, simple procedures, and one of the main important procedure to detox your body is plant-based diet. Okay, so plant-based diet, basically there are things that induces or triggers detox in your body. So these things primarily come from plant-based diet, and it is supported by autophagy. Now, what is autophagy? Autophagy is science of fasting. So it's basic. So your health depends upon your food and your fasting routine, cycles. Okay. So fasting is basically just not, anyone will tell you, okay, start fasting, but you really do not know what to do in fasting.
Yeah, exactly.
Water fasting, food fasting, one-time fasting, this fasting, spiritual fasting. So you really do not know what exactly your body needs. So when you apply science into fasting, so already the research has been done. There Nobel Prize in Medical Science in 2017 was for autophagy. So basically there was a Japanese scientist who actually studied fasting for a number of years and derived the entire scientific process behind it. So now fasting is done through scientific methods. So we study your body, what exactly your body needs, and what is the time you need to fast, and how do you need to fast. All these things are considered. And when these things are considered for a proper amount of time and the environment is given to you, there is metabolism in your body, kind of metamorphosis. It transforms your body. So the healthy cells, they eat up the bad cells basically. So this process is basically called autophagy. Okay, so you have to trigger that process in your body. So once that happens, your body gets healthy and all the unwanted compounds in your body get eliminated through various excretion methods. So we work out on this entire module for any patient or anyone who wants to undergo treatment. So autophagy, basically the entire thing is the best, fastest, the cheapest and the most easiest solution for anyone to do it. Especially for cancer patients, autophagy is the most recommended thing for natural therapy. So in cancerous cells, they get eliminated very fast. So when we do detox, we have actually eliminated tumors, cancerous cells from people. Yeah. So there's the procedures. We can talk about these procedures.
Yeah.
But in general, I just wanted to tell you what are these. So this is how it is. So I think we have limited time. So I will move on to the next person.
It is a really interesting
Yes,
topic. It's
we
very
will-
wonderful.
We
Yeah.
discuss later on.
Thank you so much.
The next question from Ms. Neena Singhal. How can vegetarians maintain skin health, hair health, and immunity naturally?
Thank you. Thank you for the question. Before I answer this question, I think I would like to set the context by introducing myself. So I'm a B.Pharm graduate and having 20 years of experience in healthcare industry. So my key area is formulation development and research for the nutraceutical and pharmaceutical product. Now coming to your question, how a vegetarian can ensure the skin health and immunity health. So first and foremost, a vegetarian diet should include variety of food, like different colors of fruit. It could be apple, we have mangoes, and seasonal food. That's more important that we have to take care. And even in case of vegetables, try to include lots of green. Again, depending on the season, like the rutu or the season that we follow. This is a season which in monsoon we have more of pulses, because greens are not suitable at this. So definitely we should add variety of fruits, vegetables, nuts, so that we have a lot of variety of nutrition, variety of vitamins and minerals through our diet. But sometimes it's that we have to top up our nutrition supplement. That's exactly where I come in picture. So we have developed a range of products which will ensure that sometimes we have to top up with nutrition. Like I'll just give you an example. Curcumin. We as an Indian, we use curcumin daily in our food, right? But the curcumin has a problem of bioavailability.
So even if you take, one tablespoon, but minuscule level will be absorbed. So that's where the population development come in picture. We have a technology called, where we have a patent technology where the absorption of curcumin is 10 times. So one capsule will be sufficiently giving you 130 mg of curcumin, which is very difficult to include in our daily life. So yeah, coming back, we have to stress and pay attention to what we eat. Also, sometime consult with your doctors, healthcare professional, and with their guidance, you can include nutrition supplement. That's something which I would like to add.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Well, now moving on to Ms. Neeta Damankar. What made you shift from a non-veg lifestyle to a plant-based diet, and how did it affect you in a spiritual journey?
It's a wonderful question. Before answering the question, answering your question, I would like to greet to everyone. Great afternoon, and thanks to giving me the opportunity to speak here. And yes, my journey was a spiritual journey. It starts 15 years ago. Okay, and that was a magical and transformative journey for myself because I'm hardcore non-vegetarian that time. And when I go to this spiritual journey start with my vipassana, the 10 days I spent there. So that 10 days really worked miraculously for me. And that 10 days give me the inner something, you can say that something inner growth that you have to feel. And something is shift beyond my imagination. And my senses stop craving. And wonderfully, I stopped my non-veg craving. And it came back with something, I can say something is there within myself. I found something it changed. So I found what changed. So I think my aggression is lower. Then I start thinking the way, means, what can I say? Means I start thinking ki, how can I think for others? So basically, what we do, we think only for ourselves, right? So when this shift changed, and I started thinking the other's point of view, and most powerful change that I started responding. So means reaction to everyone gives directly, and but I started responding. I take a pause before reacting. I take a pause, and basically I feel that every diet has emotions, and emotions carries with your thoughts. Okay, so plant also have emotions, and animals also has emotions. So whatever animals carry within them, the fear, trauma, or suppression, so that automatically when we consume that, it automatically comes into our body. And from body it comes in our thought. And whatever thought comes in our mind, we have become that. So I choose to be a plant-based because I usually feel plant-based gives me a more enlightenment. My thought changes, and I found the growth in my spiritual life. And my mindfulness, my awareness, the I can say the talk to the politeness, and main thing, the glow come on my skin. And so basically we talk politely, and the main thing I can say the ठहराव, I can say in Hindi में, it's a good word, ठहराव आ गया है life में. That one pause, I mean happiness बोल सकते हैं, you can say that the flow of happiness and the flow of maturity in spiritual path. I understand. I will feel the more than words. I can expressions. Which word you give me the block, means you give a short. You can't express in a word. But I feel when you feel it, na, you are more enjoyable, that peace, that happiness, and that is my joy. So I enjoy it, and I feel
I can connect with you. Then I have a question. So like the inner wisdom and the inner silence kind of thing, like how it comes to the peak, I can connect with that.
Yes.
It's a real beautiful
So
experience. I think one
basically, we
should
call
go.
it basically divine alignment.
Yes,
So,
divine
yeah.
alignment.
Yes.
So the actual divine energy flows into you
Yes.
when your body is clear.
Yes.
So exactly
It's not
what
wasting,
is this is
you're not
called
wasting
yoga.
energy
This
for
is
this
actually
time.
called yogic.
Yeah.
Yes.
You are into that yogic world.
Yes.
Basically, that is what yoga is.
Yeah, yoga is basically
Alignment
it is
with-
alignment.
Yeah.
They are entering yoga. She is very
And
much.
ma'am was saying, we also got transferred to yoga. Beautiful.
It's very beautiful because plants have pain, they feel everything, so they are alive. So the moment, even your children, you have to tell them, don't just pluck flowers, talk to them. They all have life. So when they have life, they give up their life to give you life. So it is naturally a transfer of a beautiful energy. So it is a wonderful experience you've shared. Definitely, it's wonderful.
Thank you so much. I will add one more thing. Plant have a life, yeah, yes. But plants' life will help us to keep inside and bring that healing and rejuvenation from inside us, and that helps us to align our thought and growth in our spiritual life. So that will help us.
Plants that abroad, they've actually found instruments that plants sing. Plants, they can hear sounds. Every plant has its own sound. So they just put like a clip like this on the plant and you can hear them. It's like the sun says Om, and similarly your plants sing also.
Definitely. Yes, interesting. Thank you.
Yes, yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I can answer second question to you. I just thought that you've covered so much. I don't know whether you want to add to it.
Yeah.
Most of us have answered both the questions.
Actually, I thought so.
So maybe
Because
some
she just
questions,
went
You
on
can
holiday.
just
some
share
audience.
Yeah, some short,
Some short
You can ask
question.
her the question.
See, what I wanted to ask was that in your experience, how does eating plant-based food help in staying calm, positive, and spiritually connected?
Yes.
Wonderful.
I will speak spiritual. We always say spiritual journey. It's not a spiritual thing. Spiritual path always. Whenever we start walking in anywhere, so we need a light. Okay. So without light, we can't walk easily. So in spiritual journey, I feel there is a light of your awareness, your mindfulness, and that to fuel or to keep that lightning. So we need that fuel. That fuel comes from your diet, from your thought. Indirectly, again, I came back to a plan.
Yes.
So if you eat properly, if you fuel properly for your body, you enlighten it and you make sure your journey is going well, and you're walking very mindfully. So that light we need from your plant-based food. So basically, I want to end this discussion. We have one life, okay, and we have a choice. Either we grow with a high frequency or we go with a low frequency, and we have a choice with the food also. Help to animal-based food or with a plant-based food. So I choose myself to go with a high frequency with a plant-based food. So it's your choice where you want to go. Thank you so much.
So now has left us with a question. So it's your choice. What else to be chosen, whether plant or animal? Okay. So coming back to Dr. Jyoti Gandhi,
Yes.
your question is, how can a plant-based diet, so does brain data support eating more plant-based food for better focus and a peace of mind?
Yes. So, basically, we have to understand that I have nothing against non-vegetarians, but as she said, there is an energy and there is a frequency that all of us are made of atoms and all of that. There is a frequency that we are all resonating at. And same like the table, the chair, the fan, and all of that. And when the higher your frequency, that is what you attract in your life. So you attract the same frequency. Sorry, let me talk here. So we attract the same frequency that we emit. You know, if we are going to be sad, low, rage, jealousy, and whenever an animal is killed, there is a certain trauma. You know, I would not like to, you know, we could be, a lot of us are non-vegetarians, but that animal faces a trauma, and eventually that trauma gets built into us. And eventually, kaha na kaha, kabhi na kabhi, as she said, do you react or do you respond? So then that response doesn't come because our frequencies are low, because we get into rage and jealousy and anger. So the moment we get into a happy space, you know, happiness and all of that, we raise the frequency. A human being has 63 hertz frequency normal. We can raise it to 450 frequency just by love, by gratitude, by a sense of beautiful feeling of, you know, because if you don't respect yourself and raise your own frequency, if I'm sad, you see in that day you will attract another sad human being who's going to share his own sadness with you. So we are here to do that. And I would also like to say that who grows the fastest from the seed in the tummy? We know that the child grows the fastest, and whose brain is developed the most. 90% of the brain of children are developed from the ages of 15 months to actually from birth, from the seed. We have Garbh Sanskar in India. We have the infancy program. So you have the reptilian brain, mammalian brain, and the neocortex brain. You know, when you're talking about brain and brain, this thing. So our brains are made out of neurons, glial cells, fatty acids, and all of that our brains are made of. And they are all messages from the brain to the body and body to the brain. Okay, and they are supported with nutrition. So fatty acid bhi milta hai apne, because I was just resonating with all of that. I've also done a study on autophagy. So you know, basically it's the more you eat, the insulin goes high. The more the insulin goes high, the autophagy is low. So there is an entire study. They are self-eating cells. So we have this fatty acids, and we have everything in a vegetarian diet that can support you to raise your frequency, energy, and great feeling instead of having that slightly traumatic feeling. Okay? So I'm not going to get into focus of that. I just want to say that a child grows 80 to 90% of his brain before the age of 5. And I've done a research on children being fed across the world. So from Europe, Britain, to Canada, USA. Tell me, what do you think kids are fed? जब छोटे बच्चे हैं तो क्या देते हैं? पहले तो माँ का दूध, right? उसके बाद उसको क्या देते हैं? Fruits and vegetables, together with a pasta, a little bit of non-vegetarian. Fully वो बच्चों को नहीं देते. तो आपका 80% brain is developed and your body grows rapidly with vegetarian food. It's proved across the world. It's just that nobody names it, nobody says it, nobody voices it. You know, so it is such a strange phenomena that we grow rapidly, our brains grow rapidly, 80-90% of the brain before the age of 5. Science, so I'm talking about science and you know the science behind it. And I also want to share what the body has, the science behind it. Our body is made of 37.2 trillion cells. Okay, we have 100 billion skin cells, 100 billion neurons in the brain. Each neuron has an 80 GB memory. And do you know what? Imagine the power you're sitting on.
Yes.
Okay? Yes. Each neuron has an 80 GB memory. We have 576 megapixel eyes can see. Which Apple or which computer can give you that? You know, 576 megapixel are nose smells, 50,000 smells, 23,000 breath in one day we take. 1,15,000 times our heart beats in 24 hours. 1,15,000 times. Isn't it crazy? Look at the discipline in it. So the sun, the moon, the seasons all follow discipline, as you said. Without discipline, all this is very difficult. So I just want to say that the best way is to have a vegetarian diet to raise your frequency. I would just like to share that the biggest animal, the elephant, when he is transported from one country to another, they put him in a crate and they put live little chickens in that crate. Imagine with that big elephant, you will wonder कि वो छोटे छोटे chickens elephant के साथ क्यों डालते हैं? Because the elephant is so emotional, so careful, he doesn't want to step on a single chicken. So he stands still in the whole journey, which keeps the balance of the plane. And just imagine, so the elephant is so that it doesn't cause harm. I would like to read this. So when an elephant needs to be transported from one country to the other by plane, the crate is filled with tiny chickens. Yes, you heard right, fragile tiny chickens. Because despite his enormous size, elephants are deeply afraid of causing harm. Throughout the entire flight, the elephant stands perfectly straight, and that helps the flight also. Imagine if an elephant moves in a flight, वो plane ही नीचे आ जाएगा. So imagine that whole thing. This is how the plane maintains its balance. This is the first test of its noble behavior. After studying the brains of an elephant, they discovered that the elephant has spindle cells, which is closest to the human cell. Spindle cells, which they are found in human beings. And what these spindle cells do, I needed to write this down because you know what, we are so used to our own lives, we sometimes don't respect animals. These neurons are associated with self-awareness, empathy, and complex social perception. An elephant, he lives with dignity, dies with dignity. He even dies away from his, from his group. In the night, he goes away and dies alone so that his children don't see the pain. He's so much like a human being. It bathes with dignity, it mates only in the night. So we have to understand and respect animals as they are. But basically, all this is because elephant eats plants. So you can just imagine. Thank you so much.
Such a nice example. I hope we humans would understand,
Because so much empathy. He doesn't want to hurt a single chicken, so it stands straight. So imagine the empathy it has. So plants give you all that. They give you the empathy. They give you all that.
Exactly. Thank you, ma'am. So moving on to Anuja ma'am. How can a plant-based diet support strength, stamina, and recovery for an athlete?
Okay, so half answer I've already covered, that is really good. But very interestingly, whether the person is non-vegetarian or vegetarian, the moment they start any kind of activity, they more focus on protein intake. जब भी आप जिम भी ज्वाइन करोगे तो ट्रेनर बोलेगा मैम आपको प्रोटीन सप्लीमेंट लेना ही पड़ेगा, आप इतना अगर एक्सरसाइज करोगे तो रिकवरी नहीं होगी. सो किधर ना किधर हमको मालूम है दैट द फंक्शन ऑफ प्रोटीन इज रिकवरी, करेक्ट. सो in science, like 11th standard, when I started studying nutrition, the functions of protein were like bodybuildings. Like protein is called as a building block of the body. But very interestingly, protein are nowadays vested in giving energy. Energy giving is not the function of protein. That is the function of carbohydrate, right? And carbohydrate can give 1 gram of carbohydrate can give 4 kilocalories. Interestingly, same can be given by proteins. So protein can generate energy, but that energy our body should not use to make ourselves, like right now we are sitting, we are talking. I hope everybody is listening to us. So these are all involuntary function which need a lot of energy, and that energy primarily should come from carbohydrates. Now, if you don't eat carbohydrates, or if you undereat, nowadays low carbohydrate diets and low calorie diet. So in that case, what happens is body has to survive and body has to struggle for the next source of energy, and then that is taken from the protein. Now, unfortunately, no other nutrient can replace protein ka function. So then there are no proteins available to the body to do the recovery, resynthesis of muscle fiber and so on. So that's the reason whenever we say, अगर आपको body बनानी है, अगर आपको muscular strength बढ़ाना है, तो first is to you focus on your carbohydrates. And in animal-based food, carbohydrates are very less. See in eggs, in chicken, they do not have any carbs. Also, for the repair function, what is most needed is the anti-inflammatory foods and antioxidants. Now, as sir was talking, that in our body only we develop some toxins. क्यों टॉक्सिन्स होते हैं? क्योंकि हमारे स्ट्रेस लेवल्स बढ़े। आजकल छोटे बच्चों को भी पूछो, स्ट्रेस बढ़ता है। मतलब 9 बजे का ट्रेन पकड़ना है, हम 8:55 को घर से निकलते हैं, तो वो स्ट्रेस भी है ना, that also causes lots of free radicals, जिसको हम टॉक्सिन्स बोलते हैं। So we have to throw out or flush out all these toxins. Only different colorful vegetables and salads will have this antioxidant available. So even if somebody is hardcore non-vegetarian, we force them to eat at least some in one of the meals to include all these things. See, because taking supplement is not the answer for it. मतलब मेरा एक typical dialogue रहता है, because आजकल बच्चे भी आते हैं ना, there एक तो AI है, lot of things, you put everything and the diet plan is ready. So, but I always tell them that see, supplement is like आप पढ़ाई करते हो, आप पेपर देने जाते हो एग्जाम में, आप पहला आंसर शीट खत्म करोगे ना, उसके बाद सप्लीमेंट लोगे। सो आपका जो फर्स्ट बैलेंसिंग है वो आपके डाइट से ही होना चाहिए। उधर अगर कुछ कम ज्यादा है, देन वी कैन टेक हेल्प ऑफ सप्लीमेंट्स। सो दैट इज हाउ। सो अगर प्रोटीन का फंक्शन बढ़ाना है तो प्लांट बेस्ड फूड इज मस्ट, अदरवाइज प्रोटीन्स बचेंगे ही नहीं हमारे बॉडी में, उसका जो स्पेसिफिक काम है वो करने के।
So too much of protein is also not good.
To be very honest, in Indian scenario, even a hardcore non-vegetarian will not have too much of protein only through diet. Because like recently I had attended a conference wherein the research paper was put that 80% of Indians are still deficient in protein. Now there are two reasons. एक तो the quality of food that we get, and the other thing is absorption. So until and unless our colon is very clear, our gut is very clear, and we're able to absorb. So even like we have lots of supplements which claim that we will get 30 grams of protein from the same one scoop of, but it is difficult to get all that 30 grams. So that's the reason. Yes. So that is we are struggling to with this malabsorption syndrome, which is recently it has come. Like he was saying that we eat so many unnecessary things that the body actually requires very minimal. But nowadays even simple apple that we buy has lot of pesticides.
It's processed chemical pesticides.
So these unwanted things we are not taking by choice, but still they're there. So imagine even non-vegetarian is not safe. Everything has the adulteration.
Exactly.
And so it's maximum our approach should be जितना clean खा सकते हैं, preservatives के बिना खा सकते हैं, fresh खा सकते हैं. Today I have lot of clients who are abroad. Unfortunately, they all get only frozen things. So in India, we are so privileged that at least we get fresh things.
Yeah.
So they are like some athletes are there. They are for the coaching. They have shifted to different countries. जैसे कि मैम अभी हमको कोथिंबीर भी मिलता नहीं है यहाँ पर. Lemons they don't get. So it is all preserved. But fortunately in India we have everything grown in our own land. So let's get the privilege of that, I feel.
So somewhere ma'am has highlighted on gut health, right?
Yes,
That is very important.
Yes.
I think each and everyone need to get little more deeper and focus
So that
on
is
that.
the second brain.
Second brain, exactly.
So that is brain axis.
90% serotonin is produced.
Even all our immune system is basically depend on our gut. So as a nutritionist, I cannot impose my decisions on my clients. If they are non-vegetarian, well, I respect that and I plan the diet accordingly. But I make it a point that they have certain fresh fruits and vegetables in there, so that this anti-inflammatory function at least happens, detoxification happens, and they get good amount of carbohydrates to keep their protein. So protein sparing action is done by the plant-based diet. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
So, thank you everyone. Thanks for your valuable time, your insights on this various special topic. plant-based food is required in this today's competitive world. So now, guys, पैनल तो हो गए, अब चलते हैं हमारे जनता की ओर. So any more question to the panel? Audience कुछ question है आपको हमारे पैनल को पूछने के लिए? या प्लीज मैम. Your name and
Good afternoon. My name is Geeta Sanake. I have a question to anyone who can answer. So, what about the people who have been non-vegetarian by birth, maybe for 40 plus years, and has gone transferred to the vegetarian source for maybe 6-7 years back? How about them recovering and having their deficiencies of the protein or maybe the vitamins? Many people say that okay, since you have been eating non-vegetarian for so many years, your body is used to having it in that way. So now switching to the plant-based or maybe to being a vegetarian might change or may impact your health or maybe reducing your weight or something like that. So how it can be taken care, being in plant-based, getting into the plant-based food.
You see, what we find in vegetarian is vitamin B12 increase, which is most common. But we can easily cover up with supplement or adding, nutrition diet. What Madhna just said, it's the mindset that what we want to do. We can easily convert from non-vegetarian to vegetarian if you want, if you wish to. No compulsion at all.
Fine. When they have taken non-vegetarian for 40 years and then switched to vegetarian food, they can actually go professionally, take professional help, not just jump into anything. I think there is a beautiful. We have so many people who can professionally help these people if there is a deficiency. There are ways of detoxing, there are ways of. So it is each individual case. I doubt कि सब में ऐसा होगा है, but I think professional help is what they can do.
So, first of all, as it was discussed during the discussion, that there is a strong connection between your mind and gut and brain.
Yes.
So, if you decide that you have to accept or you have to adapt a particular diet, the mind opens and the body becomes acceptable. That is first and foremost thing. So, ideally, whenever this kind of cases comes to me, तो मैं पहले पूछती हूँ कि आप खुद से convert करना चाहते हो क्या? See, sometimes parents forcing kids or husband forcing wife, that doesn't help. If you yourself feel that I want to now stop having animal sources and be into this zone, then already that battle is won.
50%
Yes.
is one. Yes.
Then coming to the requirements, as I told you, there is nothing as inferior and superior. So if you just follow simple discipline, maybe we can figure out with some blood tests to figure out if there are any deficiencies, and even if we get some, we definitely have a proper balancing method wherein you can follow that and absolutely normal life. In fact, as she mentioned, many a times even I have got this feedback that they are feeling much more lighter. Clarity is more, clarity of thoughts is more. So yes, pros and cons are always there, but there is nothing which is not possible or impossible.
If your mind is accepted,
Yes.
the mind accepting is the biggest.
I'll also just add up something. See, in foreign countries, especially US, most of the people are born non-veg and they convert into vegan after a long time. So this problem is faced mostly over there. Okay. So what they have come out with something called mock meats. So they make the same non-vegetarian food or any delicacy or dish into a vegetarian form. So it looks absolutely same as your non-vegetarian. So the taste remains same. For a non-vegetarian to absolutely convert into a vegetarian taste is a problem. Okay. So for a certain time you can have mock meats, which are plant-based meats. I think there are a couple of companies in Bombay also they have started.
Yes.
I think Ritesh Deshmukh had.
Yes.
So you can, I have not tried mock meats because I am vegetarian. I am not very much familiar also with non-veg taste. But You can probably try it for a certain time so the taste remains same. And
Thank you, Mehul. Thank you all our lovely guests here and our wonderful panelists. What lovely insights, and I think it has been a very enriching afternoon for all of us with how you connected the plant-based diet to empathy for life on the planet, how you connected plant-based diet to needs of our mind and body, how you connected plant-based diet to science and detoxification. You connected plant-based diet to supplementation, and you connected it to spirituality and vibrations and frequency. It's been amazing. I think we are motivated enough to continue on our plant-based journey. We are already on one. And if you are on an animal-based journey, consider for a moment if you really want to, and what is the choice that you want to make. Adhyatmik Shuddhikaran, Sharirik Shuddhikaran is one thing which you have to consider in any way. It is a non-negotiable moving forward. Thank you, everybody.
Finally, we had done our first offline event on Choose Life, Choose Plant-Based. Now, let me say thanks to all the partners who were involved in this. First of all, let me thanks my venue partner, यानी कि पाठशाला हमारे सुष्मिता मैम और शंकर सर at Mulund, followed by food refreshment partner हमारे फैमिली मेंबर फ्रॉम हमारा प्यारा कॉफी कनेक्ट, adored by Shweta, means Shweta Maheshwari. Third, our chief guest, Ms. Falguni Mehta, ma'am, the wellness coach from Mumbai. Then, special thanks to all the panelists, Jyoti ma'am, Anuja ma'am, then Ankur sir, Nina ma'am, Nita ma'am. So finally guys, if I missed anyone, I am sorry, but this was your host and host Mehul Shah, my first ever offline episode on Choose Life, Choose Plant-Based Houseful. तो मिलते हैं next session में. I will be coming soon with something new. And last but not least, a very special thanks to my media partner, Miska Media, spokesperson Vinuta Shetty, my co-host, and the entire credit goes to Mr. Vinod, the founder of Miska Media. This was Mehul Shah, signing off for today. Thank you.